Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we'll be taking a look at the battle damaged Spinosaurus. The battle damage line is exclusive to Walmart in the US, and the Spinosaurus is the largest battle damage figure so far released in the line. The Spinosaurus is shipping in kind of a unique way to Walmart. It is coming in a very large shipper. There are 12 Spinosaurs in that shipper, along with some Indominus Rex and some Colossal T-Rexes. So because the way it's coming shipped, this figure most likely will not be displayed in the regular toy aisle along with the other Jurassic World stuff. People have been finding this shipper display all over the store, and I'm not kidding, all over the store. There's been reports of it being found in lawn and garden, at the end of end caps, near the grocery section of the store. It's basically a scavenger hunt to find one of these in the store. You just really don't know where they're going to put up the shipper. Most stores are putting this up in the seasonal aisle. I actually kind of had a hard time getting my hands on this figure. I put up a hunting for the Spinosaurus video up on the channel yesterday. If you want to check out the video, I'll leave a link right there. It just kind of chronicles what I had to go through to get this figure with BrickSeek and Walmart's inventory system change. It was kind of a headache, but luckily I got my hands on this figure. So all in all, when you go to the store trying to look for one of these things, you basically got to do a whole lap around the entire store because they are just being put everywhere. So let's take a quick look at the packaging before we crack this figure open. This packaging is very similar to the Battle Damage Albertosaurus that we got at the beginning of the year. You got your Battle Damage logo in the bottom corner over here, your Jurassic World logo up there, and then you have a picture of that unique looking Battle Damage feature that this figure comes with, and spinning it around, you get a nice full art picture of the Spinosaurus on the back with more pictures of how that 3-stage battle damage works. And in the bottom corner right here, you have a picture of some of the other battle damage figures found in the line. If you're still looking for this battle damage Pteranodon, it keeps popping up randomly on Walmart's site. So if you're still looking for that guy, just keep checking Walmart. Hopefully you get your hands on it. So that'll do it for the packaging. I'm sure this is the last time we're going to see the style of battle damage packaging on the figures before we roll into Primal Attack. So enough about this. Let's crack this thing open and take a closer look. And here is the Spinosaurus out of the packaging. This figure is the same exact mold as the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus, except for its battle damage feature, which we'll get to momentarily. So before we take a closer look at this figure, let's do a couple quick measurements. This figure is roughly about 21 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, or about 53 centimeters, and about 10 inches tall to the top of that sail, or about 25 centimeters. The Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus in the movies is estimated to be around 50 feet long, so that'll put this figure somewhere in the 1/28 scale range. Now let's talk about the color scheme on this figure. I'm not too crazy about it. The whole body is molded in this dark blue plastic. It's almost like a navy blue, and the only other coloration on this is this like dark mustard yellow that starts at the snout and goes all the way down the sail, and just some markings along the hind legs, and that's about it for paint apps on this thing. The eye is done in a very light green color, and the teeth are painted in an off-white. Now when you compare it to the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus, the Legacy Collection Spino is definitely the far superior figure. Obviously, the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus is superior because it looks like its movie counterpart, and it just has better paint applications. It seems like the Mattel Jurassic World dinosaurs have kind of been on a trend lately this year. There's a lot of two-toned figures out there, just which I mean by that, they're usually just, you know, the color plastic that they're molded in, and just one paint app in one color. And I just see more and more figures are coming out like that, so I kind of wish there was a little bit more color variation on the Spinosaurus. I do kind of like the blue. I do like blue on dinosaurs, but I just feel like a little bit more paint apps on this would have really made this figure stand out. And on top of that, the hand claws on the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus are painted in. They are not painted in on the Battle Damage Spinosaurus. I feel like that is a missed opportunity. Both these figures have the same color on their toe claws. It just seems like it's random which dinosaurs in the Mattel Jurassic World line deserve to have their hand claws painted. I kind of just wish they were all painted, but, you know, less paint apps equals less money to produce these figures, I guess. So let's zoom in and take a closer look at that JP3 style Spinosaurus head. This is a beautiful head sculpt. You've got a lot of nice fine scale detail along the bottom jaw. The teeth are big and painted in off-white color. Just a little bit of paint sloppiness on the tip of the nose from the teeth right here and opening the mouth up. You can see the mouth is bright red in color with this rubbery tongue right here, which is part of its action feature. It still has the same button on the top of its neck right here, like the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus. So by squeezing that, you get that nice jaw chopping action. It looks great. Moving down to the arms, you can see the arms are sculpted nice and muscular with huge fingers and hand claws. And like I said earlier, I really wish those hand claws were painted. It would really break up the monotone blue coloration that takes up most of this figure. Like I said, it's just a missed opportunity. And moving down to the legs, you can see more of that mustard yellow pattern along the thighs. You got the oversized feet with the painted toe claws. You know, the big feet are meant for stability, and this figure is pretty stable. And then going up, taking a look at the spine, you got more of that mustard yellow coloration along the sail right here. And then zooming out, you know, the proportions of the Spinosaurus, when you really look at it in profile, it has a absolutely huge head. And, you know, we have that classic short tail that we're used to on most of the Mattel Jurassic World figures. I mean, it is a nice looking Spinosaurus, but like when you really look at it from the side, the proportions are way off on it. That head just needs to be a little bit smaller, and the tail just needs a bit longer, and I think the proportions would look really good on this. And before I forget, here is the scan code, so you can scan the Spinosaurus into your Jurassic World Facts app. So let's go over articulation on this figure. Like I pointed out earlier, there's a button on top of the neck that activates the mouth. There is a joint right here that allows some up and down movement and some side to side. Same thing for this other joint right here that starts at the base of the neck. You can get some up and down movement with that and some side to side movement. The arms right here can swing forwards and backwards, and they're on a hinge so they can swing out. They actually swing out a little bit farther on this figure compared to the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus. I feel like on the Legacy Collection, I couldn't get them farther than this position right here. And then moving down to the legs, they can move forwards and backwards with a locking ratchet. And I will say one thing, on this Spinosaurus, the joints on the legs are a lot tighter compared to the Legacy Collection. My Legacy Collection, one of the legs was always very loose, and depending on which way I stood it, the figure would always slide back down to this position right here that this Spinosaurus is in. And it used to fall over, but the joints on this figure are nice and tight. You got some ankle rotation right here, and same thing, these ankle joints are nice and tight. I know in my Legacy Collection, one of the feet, when I rotated the ankle, it just made this horrible clicking sound, like it sounded like it was just tearing itself up in there. And I actually have a friend, when they rotated their ankle, they had the same issue with that clicking sound, and it actually blew this part out on the foot right here with its mushroom peg. So I'm glad they fixed those little quality control issues that were on the Legacy Collection one. And then also right here in the back, the legs are on a pivot and can swing in and out. And then along the tail right here, the tail can move up and down and side to side. So that is pretty much it for articulation on this figure. So the battle damage feature on the Spinosaurus is the most unique battle damage we've ever seen on a figure in the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World line. And I'm talking about going all the way back to when Kenner had the license. So what you need to do to activate this battle damage feature is, this whole piece right here is a rubber flap. And all you need to do is just flip it down. It'll hang off the body like that, and you expose the rib cage and spinal column inside. So that rubber piece has 4 pegs on it. You can see them right here, and they plug into these holes right over here. And then you just grab up here, and you can flip the rib cage and spinal cord down just like you can in real life, and you expose the insides of the animal. Now this ball of gore right here has some fake blood in it, and to activate that, this button right here along the sail, you just push it in, and it will spin to the side, making that blood move around. Let me zoom in on that so you guys can see that a little bit better. Pretty cool. I do like that a lot. The one thing I don't like about it is I don't like the way the skin and the spine and ribs are just hanging off the side of the animal like that. I kind of would prefer if this flipped up like that, but I kind of get why they did it, because if these toys are meant for kids, you'll have the whole thing set up like that, and they have their dinosaur fighting each other, and it will grab right here on this little lip and pull it down. It will just keep flopping shut if it was reversed the other way. Even though I prefer it that way, I think it'll look a little bit more natural. But yeah, it's definitely really unique looking, and I do like it. I kind of really like this feature right here. I hope they add more fake blood in some of the future Battle Damage figures that are coming out. So let's move on with some comparisons. A lot of people said when they first saw pictures of this Battle Damage Spinosaurus that the color scheme was very similar to the Suchomimus. They are very similar. They almost share the same palette, but as you can see, the colors on the Suchomimus are a lot brighter compared to the Spinosaurus, but I do like the similarities between them. I think these two figures look really, really nice displayed next to each other. And here it is with the Legacy Collection T-Rex. The Legacy Collection Rex is a little smaller than the Spinosaurus. So if you want to recreate that scene from Jurassic Park 3, where the Spinosaurus fought a young male T-Rex, this is the T-Rex figure you want to go with, either the brown or the green Legacy Collection figure. And then we also have that new Primal Attack Legacy Rex that's coming out in the Bite and Fight colors. And here it is with the Bite and Fight T-Rex. This is my Chaos Effect repaint, and the Bite and Fight figure is just a little bit longer than the Spinosaurus, but I do think these two figures do scale pretty well with each other. And here it is with the Indominus Rex. This is another one of my repaints. This is loosely based off the Jurassic World Evolution Rainforest pattern. I'm sorry that I'm using my repaints for comparisons. A lot of my figures are put in storage, and most of the stuff I have out now are just my customs. And the Indominus Rex does make this Spinosaurus figure look small when you have them side by side. It's kind of tough the way my studio is set up to get them really lined up to really show you the size difference. But if you have both these figures, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And here it is with some of the other Battle Damage figures in the line. I've really enjoyed the Battle Damage line. I think it's given us some of the nicer repaints in the line and some really good sculpts, especially this Albertosaurus. This Albertosaurus is one of my favorites from 2019. I do like the Battle Damage on the Spinosaurus, but I think the two-stage Battle Damage that we got with this Albertosaurus is executed much better. I absolutely love the Battle Damage feature on this Albertosaurus with the flip-up rib cage, and as the Pteranodon dies, with that soft, rubbery inside. But it is definitely a cool Battle Damage feature on the Spinosaurus. I just kind of wish it was just implemented just a little bit differently than it is. So final thoughts on this figure. I do like this Battle Damage Spinosaurus. I'm not too crazy about the color scheme. Personally, I'm kind of getting tired of these two-tone color scheme that we're seeing a lot on the Mattel Jurassic World figures, but the sculpting on this figure is really, really great. And also, it's a great option if you never got your hands on the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus. This figure retails for $29.99, and like I said, if you're in the US, the Battle Damage line is exclusive to Walmart. Right now, they are popping up all over the country. Like I said at the beginning of the video, they come in a big shipper. They're placed pretty much anywhere in the store, so if you're going to look for one, just walk around the store and see if you can find them. I'll leave a link in the description to BrickSeek so it can help you track these things down. Even though, personally, I had issues with BrickSeek. If you want to check out that Hunting the Spinosaurus video, I explain everything there, what happened to me with the inventory system, and just what a pain it was to get my hands on this figure. So, anyways, I hope everyone else that's looking for this figure has a much easier time than I did. I do like it. I really hope that we get to see more larger figures in the future for the Battle Damage line. Like, I'd love to see a Battle Damage Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, any of the larger figures. I feel like we do get a lot of the smaller size, Savage Strike figures. So it is nice that once in a while we do get one of these larger figures in the line. So now that I finally have this figure, I'm going to be doing a top 5 Mattel Jurassic World figures of 2019. I know Primal Attack is just starting to pop up at Target. The last week or so, some of the attack packs have been found. I'm not going to include any Primal Attacks on that list if I find those figures before I do that video. That video is just going to include all of Dino Rivals, this current Battle Damage line, and the Legacy Collection. So I should have that video up sometime by the end of this month. So that will do it for the review. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.